Hi guys, it's been a while since we do another project review and there's a lot of excitement building up in the CCR region, especially in the Bukit Timah area. And today we are going to talk about Dunearn House, slated to launch in mid-July. Is this a project that you should jump into, or are there better ones coming up next? Let's talk about this today. Before we start, if you have watched my videos before but not yet subscribed, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button right now because you will get updated with the newest video and also the latest analysis that I do. And for that, I thank you very much for your support. So when this plot of land was bidded, there is a lot of excitement because the Turf City transformation has been announced, the master plan has been updated. But is this reason enough for you to jump onto the bandwagon, or is there more to deep dive into so that you don't misplace your hopes for something that may not work out for you? So this is how today's video will be laid out. First, we'll go through the TLDR project info to give you a glimpse into Dunearn House. Next, we'll look into the possible pricing of Dunearn House. And if you are someone who have set your eyes on Dunearn House, we are also going to cover 3 reasons why buyers are entering into Dunearn House. And at the last part of this video will be the most important part, as we will run the asset framework on this project so that you know how it scores and whether it is a go or a wait for you. Let's start with the project information. Dunearn House is located at Swiss Club Enclave, that is District 11. So the project consists of 380 units with 5 residential blocks. So 2 blocks will be 19 stories high and 3 blocks will be 10 stories. It is a 99 years leasehold development that is located about 4 minutes walk to the 6th Avenue MRT station, and that alone sparked a very high interest amongst buyers being so near to the MRT station. Another reason why Dunearn House is attracting so much attention is the fact that it's the first private development within the Turf City transformation, and that makes it very interesting for us to study into this development. But as of all first mover, there comes with a set of concerns as well. Whether this project will actually do well in the future, I think this is one of the main concerns most buyers will have today. And here we will run through 3 reasons why buyers are hesitant about entering into this project. The first thing is the main road concern. So Dunearn House is located along Dunearn Road. This is a main road, and for someone like me who is traveling up and down Dunearn Road and Bukit Timah Road every day, you will know that during peak hours, the traffic condition there is quite congested, and definitely there will be a certain level of road noise that will be generated as well. So I think this is also one of the biggest concerns that buyers in this area will have. However, of course, you get the ease of connectivity, you will also get that level of road noise that will be expected in this area. Apart from that, some may also have concerns about getting in and out of the development itself. And if you're buying this property solely for the reason of registering for Methodist Girls' School, I think that is also something of a 50-50 chance. The second concerns buyers may have is for the school. Dunearn House is sitting along this stretch of prestigious schools. However, if someone is buying solely for the reason of primary school registration for the Methodist Girls' School, I think this may be an uncertainty for them. Looking at the one map radius, this property appears to have the possibility of maybe 1 or multiple blocks will be within the 1 kilometer radius. At the point of recording this video, there is no official release of whether this property will be within 1 kilometer radius of MGS. So I would strongly recommend that you do another round of check once the official address are confirmed. Lastly would be the Turf City transformation. Although there is leverage on this transformation, but there is also a lot of uncertainty, as many feel that it is too early to tell. This makes it a double-edged sword for some who may want to plan an exit strategy. And if you follow the asset framework that we have, transformation actually takes up only 20% of the overall scoring. So that may not be one of the biggest telltale sign for you to enter into a certain property. As at different phases of transformation, there will be different time taken for a profit to be realized. So if you're someone who has a specific exit timeline that you need to go with, this may or may not be the property that you should jump into. At the end of the day, it really depends on how you plan your exit strategy and whether there is a plan B or plan C for you. Next, let's talk about pricing. And for this, please note that it is not the official pricing. However, because the land cost is not too far away from the previous CCR launch that we saw at River Valley, we will take the approximate same range for this. And with the unit sizes that is already out and the unit mix that is already released, we have this price matrix for you. You can pause here to have a look, but let me run through this with you. For the smallest 2-bedroom, we have at 527 square feet. And if you are looking into this layout, it can possibly start in the 1.5 million region, which makes it quite attractive entry price. But of course, for the lowest pricing, it will likely to be facing the main road. But if you are buying this for investment, I think that will not be one of your main concerns. Buyers of these unit types usually will not be at home during the peak hours. And for buyers who are more concerned about the road noises, usually they are looking at the larger format, which is the 3 and 4 bedrooms, that you'll be having the inwards facing, which makes the road noise a lot less noticeable. By the way, if school admission is an important factor to you, I've done a separate video previously over here that you can watch after this video, sharing on how parents can improve their chance of getting their children into the preferred school. And if you're planning your property purchase and you need someone to walk you through your options, feel free to reach out to me. I provide consultation for property buyers and sellers, helping you to understand your options before you make that major decision. Now let's talk about the transformation story. Entering as the first private development in this transformation story definitely will have its uncertainties, but however, we also want to look at what are certain. So one thing for sure, the plot seated next to Dunearn House has already been bidded. It is bidded by the Wingtime Consortium, secured at 1617 per square foot per plot ratio. So that is significantly higher for the exact same location that someone is buying into. Secondly, this development will have commercial components at the first level, providing additional amenities for Dunearn House residents. And thirdly, of course, the first mover advantage we have seen a lot of time. It is real, but you may need a little bit of patience waiting for that to happen. Historically, the first project usually enjoy the lowest land cost, where future land will set higher benchmarks, which will secure your position in time to come. As more parcels of land will be released in the Turf City region, this will gradually drive up the land cost, which create additional long-term support for your pricing. Lastly, let's run through the asset framework. So asset framework is a framework that I use for my clients during the consultation, basically to give you a very clear indication how these projects score, usually used in comparison to another project that you are considering. And that will give you a very clear scoring whether you should go for this project or the other project. So starting with affordability, as a rough gauge, we are using a household income of around 20,000, and for that income range, potentially someone can look at a property of around the $3 million range. Of course, subject to TDSR, whether you can loan 30 years and whether you have other financial commitments. If we refer back to the price matrix, this price range will sit in the 3-bedroom region. Of course, every buyer's situations and profile is different, so affordability should be assessed individually. Next will be safe entry. For a quick comparison, we are looking at 4th Avenue Residences. A 3+ study over there at 1109 square feet has transacted around $3.1 to $3.15 million. At Dunearn House, because of GFA harmonization, a 947 square feet 3-bedroom plus study will have the similar layout. If the pricing comes in meaningfully below the benchmark of the 3 million after adjusting the GFA harmonization, that could represent one safe entry point. Of course, during our consultation, we will do more comparisons to get more safe entry points so that you will be sure whether this is a safe entry for you. Affordability and safe entry carries the highest weightage because entering safe and having that holding power is the sure win formula for all property transactions. The rest of the framework will give you a clearer indication on the exit strategy, which will become more time sensitive. Next will be supply and demand and the estate appeal. We have to look into the available supply of each unit type, not just within the development but also around the area as well. But for Dunearn House, what is interesting is the 3-bedroom is actually having less units than the 4 bedrooms. So this may be one of the factors that we will consider for the supply and demand. And on the demand side, of course, we will look at who are the people who will be looking for another private home in this region. And of course, you will think of the future BTOs in the Turf City region, and that is definitely one of the pointers that we will include in our scoring. And then comes the estate appeal. So for a brief summary, the estate appeal of Dunearn House is definitely the connectivity. Having a short walk to the 6th Avenue MRT and the bus services along the Bukit Timah and Dunearn Road is a good addition for the estate appeal. As well as seated along the prestigious schools belt, I think that is also something that we will score into the estate appeal. And lastly, T for transformation. As mentioned earlier, many successful investors swear by these major transformation stories, and Turf City definitely is one of those major transformations that you may be looking at. If Turf City transformation is something that you believe in, Dunearn House will definitely be one of the top choice that you should be looking into. However, transformation alone is never the reason to invest into a certain property. It should work together with affordability, it should work with the safe entry, supply and demand, as well as the estate appeal. If you like to have a more in-depth analysis based on your individual profile using the asset framework, do connect with me. I provide consultation over Zoom using our own method for you to plan out the whole purchase and selling timeline, as well as the asset framework for you to determine which property is for you and which to avoid. All this to help you to gain clarity and avoid costly mistakes in your real estate journey. We have come to the end of the video. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment sections or feel free to connect with me. I'll be happy to talk to you. Thank you for watching and I will see you in our next video. Bye.